Hello everyone, I'm Neat Sahone, and I post a draft video every Monday and Thursday here on my channel with the latest format right now, that is Core Set 2019. I've been enjoying the format so far. I've been sort of experimenting here early, seeing how I feel about the different archetypes and stuff, and that's been fun. Okay, well this is a strong pack. I think you just take Demon of Catastrophes. I think it's better than, 95% of the cards in the set probably. These are both really good uncommons, Fell Spectre and Nightmare's Thirst, but Demon of Catastrophes is better. Shock's a good common. Demon of Catastrophes is still better. If I had to, if we didn't have the bomb here, I'd probably take Shock, just because Nightmare's Thirst is a little, it's not that hard to build around, but it's hard to make it work. But yeah. Demon of Catastrophes is good, even if you don't end up with a deck that can really take advantage of sacrificing things. If you do, it gets to be ridiculous. Like if you're sacrificing your Dragon's Egg or your Doomed Dissenter or your 1 mana 1/1, or your, not your 1 mana 1/1, but your 2 mana 1/1 Goblin who made a token. So all of those things are ridiculous. But if you just play this on turn 4 in a lot of games, even if you're giving up your random 2-drop instead of like a synergistic sacrifice, it's pretty hard for your opponent to win. Anyway, that's why we're taking it. Okay. Well, Trashmaster isn't terrible. I've found, it's a 4 mana 3/3, and it can blow up artifacts. There's a decent number of artifacts played in this set, so it, frequently can blow things up. This pack in general is quite weak, though. Like, wow. Blanchwood Armor can be good. The auras in this format, like the really powerful ones that give huge boosts, can be pretty strong, even if you're not putting them on a Vine Mare. I don't really see a reason to take anything out of this pack that isn't black. I think Skeleton Archer is a good card. I think, it kills a bunch of things in this format. For example, both of these. It's got decent stats. I feel fine about taking it here. There's nothing in this pack that I think is a lot better, or even very much better than Skeleton Archer. Snapping Drake is okay, but I think I just take the Archer and see what happens. Okay, here we probably take the third pick, Shock. I have drafted Metamorphic Alteration once, and it is a card I want to try out. And unfortunately, the one time I drafted it, I think I actually recorded it. I never got to play it, and that was annoying. But I think it's probably still right to take Shock over it. I can't imagine this being better than... it can be better in Shock in some board states, but Shock's going to be better in the vast majority of board states. Another Blanchwood Armor. Should have gone mono green, I guess. Okay, another Archer. There's also an Aven Windmage, though, and a Dwindle. That's a pretty good sign blue's open. Both of these cards are pretty good. Dwindle is not a great removal spell, but it's a solid one. I like it a decent amount. I think it's probably what I take here over an Archer. Or Windmage. Windmage, it is a very good card, but this is still removal, and it's, Windmage isn't like an amazing creature, it's just a good one, and, Dwindle, I think, is still what you want to take over that. Okay. So now there's some good white cards around late. Both Gallant Cavalry and Drillmaster are pretty good, but they're not incredible or anything. Volley Veteran can be good, assuming you get enough goblins, which isn't impossible to do. We have 0 right now, though. Omen Speaker's solid. I think the Gallant Cavalry is probably the best card in this pack, and I could consider taking it. But, I think Omen Speaker's pretty good. Should I take the Veteran and think, the Veteran probably has a higher ceiling. It does have a lower floor, maybe, but yeah, I like the Volley Veteran. We need some goblins, but it's not impossible to make that happen. Okay. Yeah, I guess the Ogre. Tormenting Voice is solid, but the Ogre's fine. Okay. There's another Archer. I do kind of need a 2-drop, and I like the Pyromancer as far as 2-drops go. I don't really want Crash Through. Salvager of Secrets is solid. Something to keep our eye on if we keep seeing them. We do want to try pretty hard to play black, I feel like. If we can help it. So maybe there's something to be said for taking an Archer, but I think I'm just going to take a Pyromancer here. Yeah. Okay, Lightning Mare is fine. Scholar of Stars is good if you can get enough artifacts. We're currently sitting at 0. Obviously, we have time to get more, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's just Lightning Mare. It's not an incredible card. It's not that easy to cast, but it is fine. It is, you know, we'll play it in our red deck, assuming we have enough mountains, but I'm sure we will. You know, we'll play 9 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, these are both artifact build-arounds. This is a good, like, finisher for a control deck, but I think I'll take the Mare here. Okay, another Pyromancer. There is a Stone Quarry. So we're sort of moving into a really aggressive deck now is what seems to be happening. Another Pyromancer. I mean, yeah, all right. The more like reach damage you have like this, the better Lava Axe can get, which is not normally a card I like to play, but you know, cards that do damage directly to our opponent do become more attractive. That's for sure. Okay, I don't really like any of these cards. I think I'm actually going to take the Lake. You know, if we play blue-red, it'll be good. If we splash blue, it'll be good, etc. So, Ghost Form's not very good. Catalyst Elemental, you know, none of these cards are especially good. All right, we'll take a Fire Elemental. I hope we don't play it, though. Okay, we will take a Lava Axe. I think I'd rather have it than a Bog Stomper at this point. So we sort of moved into a very deck that would be interested in the Salvager that we passed. I think, yeah, I'm not sure black is open enough. I mean, we saw some stuff, but not a ton. Yeah, probably Aven Windmage. Sleep can be really good, but it's hard to... It's very inconsistent. Like, I do like it, and I will play it in a pretty aggressive deck. But I think it's still a little too early in this draft for me to say Sleep's going to be super good in our deck. And for that reason, I don't think I want to take it yet. I think I'd probably just take a Windmage. Yeah. Yep. So Act of Treason is a gross thing to do with the demon. Well, not that gross because it costs 7 total. Never mind. Could be fun, though. But yeah, we'll take the Windmage there. Okay, so now there's another Sleep. There's also another Shock, though. Do I want this Sleep? I probably want this Sleep. I don't think I can bring myself to pass 2 in a deck that seems to have a pretty aggressive curve. It seems like it's going to be pretty good for us. All right, the Dragon is like obviously a little higher on the curve, but it's pretty good. I mean, I feel pretty good about, you know, our chances if we get to 6 mana and get to cast it. It just kills the opponent really quickly. Yeah, I think that's what we take here. I don't really like double cast. It gets better like with certain cards, but obviously it's like useless with Sleep, for example. It is, you know, with Lava Axe it's kind of funny, but yeah, it's not great. Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna get to play our black cards. The way things have shifted here. Wow, look at all those green cards. Thorn Lieutenant and Rabid Bite are both really, really good. I mean, we could still be a red-green deck, but maybe it's smarter to just take Divination here than like go for Thorn Lieutenant. I mean, it's not like the blue cards we have aren't good. They're pretty good, so I think I'll take the Divination. No red cards in that pack. It's definitely a pack overloaded with green, so I don't think we'll play Lava Axe or Fire Elemental, but they could both make it. Okay. This pack is not good for us at all, really. It's not good for anybody. I mean, you know, like Centaur Courser is perfectly fine. You know, this is a good sideboard card. I guess we could take a Smelt for our sideboard, but maybe we just want another Tormenting Voice more. It does give us a 3rd draw spell. I don't know if we really want that many. I mean, the Motivator's okay. It is a Goblin. We do have 1 Goblin. I guess I kind of like the idea of my first Motivator over a Tormenting Voice or a Smelt. Yeah, a 2nd Tormenting Voice. Things are drying up on us pretty hard now, which is kind of a problem. Probably take Hostile Minotaur here. Lich's Caress is nice. Do we want a 4th Pyromancer? I mean, yeah, I guess so. more direct damage. So like I said, it does make Lava Axe more and more attractive the more Pyromancers we get. So Wall of Mist is more, for a dirtily deck trying to slow people down early, and I don't think that's what we're going to be. Do I want Marauder's Axe? Maybe. I don't love it. We don't have any sacrifice synergies at this point, but Active Treason is pretty strong if your deck's aggressive enough. And I kind of feel like ours is. I mean, we are a deck playing Divination on the one hand. But yeah, I think I'll take the Act here. Another Act. Another Sleep. 2 can be a little risky because they are bad in some scenarios, but it also seems pretty awesome. So we do need to cram more creatures into our deck if we can help it. Do we want Inferno Hellion? It is pretty good, I guess. Well, it's not that good with Sleep because it only gets to attack the once. But I think I'd rather have it than a second Fire Elemental. I'm not super convinced I'm playing either of them, though. So we've only got one Goblin, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But, with 2 Sleeps, really high-power creatures are pretty attractive to us. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards throwing this Lava Axe in here. Oh, there's a second one. Probably just take a Smelt for the sideboard. Yeah. I mean, double cast. I mean, doing with Divination's great, but apart from that, it's not that good in our deck. Yeah. I don't feel like I've done the best job of navigating this draft. Like, blue doesn't seem that open. And honestly, like, I think it's still worth considering looking over here. Which sounds kind of crazy, but like the Demon and the Skeleton Archer are pretty great. We are giving up Sleeps and a Wind Mage and Dwindle, and I mean, I guess ideally we probably do want to be blue here if we can help it, but I think keeping black in the back of our mind is probably a good idea, just because the Demon's that strong. Okay, well, Dark Dweller Oracle makes our Active Treason a lot better, but there's also an Exclusion Mage, and I just think it's better than Dark Dweller Oracle. Active Treason is really good with it, like I just said, but Exclusion Mage is excellent, and I don't really think you can pass it. Gravedigger is too, but I think they're pretty comparable, and we have way more blue cards, so Exclusion Mage it is. Oh, God. Really? I was just talking about how secure we were in blue, but getting a Bone Dragon this late. I mean, it's not late in the pack, but getting a Bone Dragon at all, especially when this pack, like, what are my options in my colors? Sparkling Dragon's okay. I'm taking the Bone Dragon and seriously considering now just completely pivoting back into black because, which I know sounds crazy, but Bone Dragon plus Demon of Catastrophes is 2 really strong cards. Both of them are stronger than anything we have over here. So, yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. So we could take a removal spell. We could take another Ogre. Removal seems pretty good. We don't have a ton of it. I think we got to take it. Ooh, I do like Siegebreaker Giant. Yeah, I think that's what we take here over like 2-headed zombie and the like. So we could splash blue if we wanted to, and I guess splashing Exclusion Mage isn't the worst plan. We do have the one Highland Lake. I doubt, I mean, I'll probably want to pick up a little more fixing if I try to do that. There is another Dwindle. But I think I just take another Ogre. Yeah, kind of crazy how that happened. I don't think we run Act of Treason in this deck. We don't, I mean, we might if we're low on playables because it's not bad in like a super aggressive deck, but yeah. Probably not going to splash this either, but it is something to keep in mind. Okay, so now there's a Disperse, which is certainly better than taking a Bog Stomper. But there's also a Hired Blade, and I guess, yeah, it's fine. We'll take the Blade over Disperse. Another Skeleton Archer. I do like Omen Speaker, you know, if we were still thinking about blue, but I think I've kind of given up on blue. Yeah, we'll take another Archer. I mean, Bone Dragon in a lot of games is just going to be a 5-mana 5/4 flyer, but that's an excellent, excellent card on its own. And in other games, it will come back from the graveyard. So when it does that, you're in really good shape. Don't know if I want Motivator or Veteran in the final version of this deck, but we did switch colors really late, so we may end up stuck there. Do I want another Ogre more than I want another Hostile Minotaur? Yeah, probably. I mean, the lower our curve, the better, most likely. This guy can trade up. I mean, I don't love him, but 3-mana 4/2s are pretty nice, like, vanilla creatures. So there's another Goblin Motivator. There's also another Skeleton Archer. But I think I'm probably just going to cut the Goblins. I mean, the Volley Veteran isn't terrible if we play it. I think I'd probably take another Archer. We have a lot of... Maybe we do want that Lava Axe. I don't know. We've got 4 Pyromancers, 3 Archers, and a Shock. It's a lot of direct damage in the late game. Well, not all of it's the late game, but... Stone Quarry doesn't really do us any good. Do I want another Tormenting Voice? Do I just want to shove another Lava Axe into this deck and go all out? Tectonic Rift, you know, is also good. And it's sort of like Sleep, you know. You know, it's sort of weird in that the more Lava Axes you get, the better they kind of get because your opponent, you do so much more damage. But I think the Rift is going to be better. Like, it's going to come in out of our sideboard most likely if we don't play it. Sure, we'll take a 4th Ogre. We are stretching it a little on playables because we switched so late. Shoot. Maybe I just want to play 2 Lava Axes. I think we made the right choice just because the sheer power, you know, we have 2 really good finishers who aren't all that expensive mana-wise. So, like, would I rather have a Fire Elemental than a Lava Axe? That's like sort of the question. The problem with Lava Axe is all it does is 5 damage. Fire Elemental, which is by no means a good card, can do so much more because it can block. Now, the thing that it doesn't do as well is the direct damage to your opponent. But being able to attack, being able to block is like a huge upgrade in most ways over Lava Axe, I feel like. Yeah. Do I want to splash Exclusion Mage? I don't think so. That is one of the bright sides. Like, we weren't super deep into blue. Most of the cards we'd taken were red. So, you know, when we saw that Bone Dragon, it was pretty easy to just pivot. And I think we did the right thing. But, so we're kind of... Do we want to run Lava Axes? Or should I run, like, a Goblin... Like a Fire Elemental? And then maybe the Volley Veteran, who basically amounts to a worse Skeleton Archer. If we don't have any other Goblins. But... like, these 4 Ogres are not exactly what I want to be doing. I mean, they do hit hard. So there's that. We have so many creatures. Yeah, what the hell. Let's just do the Lava Axe thing and see if it'll work. I've lost to Lava Axes in this format. I think it can be effective. I think... a deck like this one is probably where it's most effective. I still have qualms about it. I just hate playing Lava Axe. I just have a hard time like hitting the submit button, the save deck button when I'm like, I've got 2 lava axes. It's just, it's not ideal. Shoot, I think what I'm gonna do in the end is run this Act of Treason, and maybe also Tectonic Rift. An effect like this, like I feel like this is also more flexible than Lava Axe. I mean, sometimes it'll be worse, but most of the time it'll be better. I don't like it either, honestly, as a main board card, but it's the kind of card that'll suddenly make all our 4-power creatures kind of scary because they suddenly can't be blocked. I mean, we could also just go with Fire Elemental. Feel the safest with Fire Elemental, but I think all 3 are bad choices, and a product of us switching to black late, and not just keep taking blue playables. I mean, we could splash the Exclusion Mage, but I think just the Highland Lake's not enough. I gotta do one of these things. You know, they're all decent options, but none of them are good options. I think I'm going to go with the Rift. I think I like it more in the end. You know, it gives us reach in the same way, but it can be used. You know, it's not useless unless your opponent dies from it, the way Lava Axe can be. 10-7's probably fine. We have 2 double blacks. I guess this one's not that late. Maybe we want to go 9. I mean, it does make Lightning Mare harder to cast, but that's probably okay. Yeah, 9-8. I think that's fine. All right, let's see you guys in our first match. All right, so first match, we'd like to play first. We'd also like to mulligan. Wow. So if there's like a mountain on top of our library, this is keepable, but it seems like a pretty dangerous keep. I think we got to go to 5, which is pretty rough. Yeah, I think we got to. I mean, this hand's, you know, yeah, if we draw a mountain, we have a chance. But it's, I think going to 5 and scrying 1 is probably better than just keeping this and praying we hit a mountain. So yeah, we're gonna go to 5. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, you're going to the bottom. I mean, you aren't a land, but you're also not gonna be especially good if we can't get any more creatures. So we do have 4 of this ogre. Which is more than ideal, unless we had Sarkhan's Unsealing, you know, that would be sweet. Okay. That'd be really sweet if we had Sarkhan's Unsealing. They're not off to a fast start, so that's good. Drawing our black cards right now is not so good. Yeah, that's our ogre's getting shocked is going to be pretty god-awful for us. Something to keep in mind. See if this one gets shocked too. Nope. So black mana would be good. Okay, I'd probably just hang back and trade with that thing at this point. Oh, God. What the hell? Let's just go attacking. Not off to a good start here with 2 hands with 1 swamp and no other lands, and then... And I think both hands had all red cards, too. Oh, that's fun. Okay. So we can kill this with our Skeleton Archer. That would be nice, right? It would be, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So let's just play our Minotaur here. Do we just try to race? Can we do anything else? I don't know that we can. I mean, he's going to play something and give it haste. You know, it's like whatever. Okay, well, that sucks. Skeleton Archer, where were you, man? Okay. Definitely a throwaway game 1. Probably a Dreadmaw that they're going to give haste to, right? Maybe. Ooh, Hungering Hydra, even better. Yeah. So we take 10. Wow. All right. Well, that wasn't very much fun. Hopefully we can have a little more fun here in the game. Second game. Yeah, we don't really have, Smelt might come in at some point. Okay. How many black cards are in our deck? 3, 4, 5, 7 of them, and we drew 4? Is that right? Okay, this is a much better hand. The bad news about it is we're probably going to have to give up like a 3-drop to play our demon, but I think we still go for it. Most likely. We do need to draw another swamp to make that happen, but what we really want to do is just play like a Pyromancer on turn 2, have it do its damage, maybe it gets in for 2 more, and then sacrifice that to the demon. Sacrificing 3 drops doesn't feel nearly as good, but what are you going to do, Okay, so yeah, we'll play the Ogre here. We don't have the other swamp yet, so it's just going to get shocked. No. That's good news. Oh, I wish I could shock that. Well, there's a Pyromancer. Alright, so let's attack with our Ogre. Do I just play another Ogre because they do pressure him a lot if all he's going to do is try to ramp here? They can still attack against most things he can play right now too, so let's go for it. Ogre number 2. My opponent's like, is your deck just all Onake Ogres? Yes, it is. No. That would be funny though. Green Seeker. And Bookcase. Alright, well, they still don't have any good blocks, so that's pretty good news for us. There's the other black that we wanted. Alright, guys. Trying to decide if I should play my demon if they just take this, and I think the answer is yes. If they don't have a kill spell for my demon kills them next turn, plus with the help of the Ishino Pyromancer, so I think we just go for it. If they do have a kill spell, obviously we just got 2 for 1. It's sort of like putting a big aura on a creature. But yeah, I mean, we could also use Tectonic Rift to, yeah. Well, that's what we could have done if we kept our Ogre. Is just use the Rift to win the game, but we can use this later if things do backfire here one way or another. Alright, that means we win. So that one went our way, huh? Demon of Catastrophe. So yeah, we'll play our Pyromancer. I'd rather show them we have Pyromancers than we have Tectonic Rift. Not that you can play around Tectonic Rift very easily, but... So we'll attack for 6. On to game 3. Yep. It has been strange that we haven't drawn our 2 drops on turn 2. We did draw our Pyromancer eventually there. We have plenty of them. So, Okay, well, we got one here, but we can't actually cast it unless we draw a mountain. But I think this hand, I mean, it's a little slow, but I think it's okay. The archer can kill a lot of creatures in their deck. Several, anyway. Okay, our friend the ogre is here. So that at least we have a 3-drop now. No, Lightning Mare would have been nice there because it, you know, a lot of 2-drops can't actually attack through a Green Seeker, but that one could have. Looks like they missed on that one. Yeah, the bookcase is surprisingly mediocre against us because we just have a deck filled with this guy. So, and it like cannot block that to save its life. So Minotaur plus Archer can kill the bookcase if that comes up. Looks like they missed again. Ooh. Okay, so let's attack with our ogre. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead. I mean, they're just going to block, but I think it's worth playing this and attacking with both. That way next turn I can set up an archer to kill the bookcase. And, you know, our creatures have high enough power right now that Tectonic Rift can just suddenly end the game. We're in one of those situations, especially as our opponent struggles to hit lands. Which, considering they also have this in play, is pretty brutal. I feel their pain. They're basically getting 2 chances per game to draw a land. Per turn, I should say. Ooh, okay. Well, it's like, do they have Plummet? I don't know. Attack with both. Is it better to play the archer here? They may not block now. No, yeah, they do. So 4, 7. This would get me to 10 on a Tectonic Rift. Yeah. I'm a little worried they have something like Plummet, and we have enough of an advantage that I don't feel like doing something like this is worth it right now. I'll do it eventually, obviously enough, but for now, I think just getting this bookcase out of the way is definitely worth it. Damn, that's rough. I think they just missed again. Yeah. Yeah, they had to play a 1/1 Hydra. That's never fun. So we can just kill this with another archer. Yeah. Skeleton archers for the win, man. And I should have tapped my mana differently, ideally, so I could play the Lightning Mare, but I don't think that's going to come up here. So we have them at 2, which means we have like 1,000,000 cards in our deck that just end the game. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but we do have our 4 Pyromancers and a Shock, so almost 1 in 5 cards in our library just ends the game. Did they just miss again? That is brutal. We've all been there, and it's not fun. Yeah, well, that third game wasn't exactly much of a game, but you know, we'll take it. We've lost games for that reason. It evens out in the long run, you know, as they say. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next match. All right, match 2. We would like to play first. This hand is solid. I mean, we don't have as many early creatures as I'd like, but you know, we have an early Pyromancer, some removal, and you know, a big guy to close out the game. So what we really want to draw is stuff in the middle, ideally. There's a good chance we do. I mean, that we draw more creatures. Okay. Is this opponent going to like slap Blanchwood armor on this thing? I've seen that enough in this format to be worried about it. All right, we did draw a guy in between our all-powerful Onake Ogre. Yeah, I mean, if they want to block, I am happy to oblige them. We already get a little bit of value out of this. It's almost like it had haste, you know, the turn we played it. Yeah. And obviously our Ogre is terrible against 2/2s, so... No, come on, man. And this one has Vigilance, and that's like the nightmare of Onake Ogre. Can't block it well, can't attack through it. You know, there's a chance we use like Strangling Spores on it on our next turn and just keep our foot on the gas pedal, but I don't know. Probably not. Don't play that Blanchwood armor. The Ogre can still block if there was is what's kind of sweet there if our opponent used Blanchwood armor. So we probably have to Strangling Spores the Disciple. So I'm leaning towards doing anyway. Yeah, I think that's better than playing another Ogre. This Disciple can really just mess everything up. Do I just attack with both? You have another one in my hand. Yeah, what the hell? Let's attack with both. That is 6 damage. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and kill this as well. Drop them to 14. Start breaking some sieges next turn, hopefully. It's not really a siege going on here, but, you know, he could still be useful, I would think. Okay, can't attack through that, obviously enough. Another Pyromancer doesn't hurt, but yeah, we play our Siege Breaker here. Could play Ogre and Pyromancer, which maybe that wouldn't have been a bad plan because this can trade with that at least, but the Siege Breaker kind of demands an answer because of his sheer size and his ability to push through damage. Gaining life is pretty obnoxious. So is that. I mean, we can make it unable to block and all that, but... Come on, man, attack. Ooh. Okay, this is going to be really good. We go Shock. Make this unable to block, bash for 8. I know building our board is tempting here, but I think just smashing our opponent's face in for 8 here and dropping them to 9 is exactly what this deck needs to do. So we can go Ogre Pyromancer next turn. Alternatively, if they don't have another creature, we can make this enable to block and just do it all over again. At which point they're basically dead because we have a Pyromancer in our hand. Drawing that Shock was nasty. Daggerback Basilisk is one of the best things to shock, along with our Ogre. Trading up, and it's a creature that can block really well, so it's like, get out of here. I mean, this can't block really well, but it can block, you know, a 4/3 and kill it. Not a lot of 3-drops that can do that. Okay. They were 1 mana shy of being able to lightning bolt this guy, so that's a pretty good sign of desperation. Okay. Like, I could make one of them unable to block, but it doesn't really seem worth it to me. I think instead I'm just going to play Pyromancer. Basically, our Siegebreaker Giant makes it so that they can't really... They just don't have good attacks. Like, they have to leave creatures back, or I can just bust through for a bunch of damage. So that drops them to 7. Yeah, so I think we just play that and the Ogre here. That sets it up so that turning off even one blocker can just win us the game with our Siegebreaker, so... Especially if they don't play another one. I think they're going to, though. Yeah, they played a big one. Okay, well, we do kind of want more lands because when we get to 8, we can make 2 creatures unable to block a turn. So hold on here. If I make, let's say, the 5/4 unable to block, and I attack with both of these, they do have 1 card in their hand. And both of these, they probably block the Siegebreaker, who will trample for at least 3. I think we'd go for it, honestly. Seems a little risky, but I think it's worth it. I mean, Sure Strike and some stuff like that. Titanic Growth might help them out here, but that's basically the only thing. I mean, short of like Shock would be really good too, but I mean, they have to block this, and this is going to trade. This will kill something too, and get pretty close to just winning us the game if it doesn't outright win us the game. If they have Sure Strike, this is going to be a lot more painful, but you know, whatever. So they may have it. Sure Strike would make it so they only go to 3. They go to 3 here, and we only get to kill this. God dang it. I think they have it. Titanic Growth, even worse. Okay. All right, well, we dropped them to 3, which is still pretty appealing, but losing our Siegebreaker Giant isn't so appealing. That life they gained off that Gift of Paradise is looking pretty nice. Do they attack us? If they drew another blocker, I think I would attack with the... Yeah. Should have bided my time, I think. It would be nice to have like Skeleton Archer right now, but because we could attack with both, drop them to 1, and then Skeleton Archer them. So we have, do we have 2 or 3 archers? We have a lot. And then we have 2 more Pyromancers, and any of those could help us put an end to this game. All right, we go to 10. Oh, all right. I say we go for it. Drops them to 1. Here comes the archer. Got there. Okay. Yep, once again, we don't really have anything to sideboard. Yeah, we have some nice reach in this deck for sure. Like Siegebreaker and Tectonic Rift can turn board states in our favor really easily. I mean, just make it so we swing for so much that our opponent's dead in multiple ways. Same with Active Treason. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. I mean, that's been a key part of our deck, I think, is, you know, pushing through when our opponent stabilizes with various things. Another hand with all swamps in it. We're on the draw. If we draw a mountain, it's actually pretty good. But I think we still got a mulligan. I mean, I think we can do better. And we do. I mean, reasonably better. Okay. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, Rift for the late game. This is definitely not a card you want in your opening hand. That's part of the reason I hesitate to play it, because it can be so bad in your opening hand, but, you know, we can make it work. We have Tormenting Voice, too. I mean, if we have to, we could pitch the Rift. I mean, ideally, we'd pitch a land, but I wouldn't hate pitching the Tectonic Rift. Ooh, he's nasty. That Pyromancer is so good. So much better than ours. No offense. Drops them to 18. Yeah, between the ability to loot and the ability to turn into a removal spell and having reasonable stats, Dismissive Pyromancer is pretty messed up. Red has 2 really good, well, really good is an exaggeration. Red has 2 strong 2-drops that have a bunch of late game value, or mid, you know. We may be up against another opponent who's trying to dig for a land. Yeah, it looks that way. Are we going to get lucky again and they're not going to hit any? Well, it's looking like we got a chance there. And that's, the more damage we do before we cast Tectonic Rift, obviously enough the better, and the more our chances of winning go up. Looks like we will have a land to pitch, most likely. We also could use, if they miss another land, there's something to be said for just casting Tectonic Rift to blow up like their mountain, which I know is really jacked up, but you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, so I could still hit the mountain. Hit the mountain and get in for 6 doesn't seem like a terrible turn, right? I think it seems pretty good. I mean, the problem with land destruction, as always, is that your opponent can... you don't... Like, if they just draw another mountain right after we do this, we may as well not have done it, right? And that happens enough that just blowing up a land for blowing up a land's sake doesn't really seem worth it to me. I mean, it's really worth considering. I mean, blowing up the mountain, if they don't hit a mountain... Obviously, we're going to be in great shape. They can't use these abilities anymore. But it's also like, I could get another Ogre out there before I cast it and wreak all kinds of havoc. So, I don't know. So, I'm going to attack with my Pyromancer here. I'm happy to trade with either of these. Obviously, their Pyromancer would be ideal. So, yeah, we'll hold off on Tectonic Rift for now. I think I'm going to play another Ogre first, at least. Yeah, trade is fine with me. You know, and if they don't hit a mountain here, or in the next couple turns, it's going to look like I definitely should have done it, but... yeah. So we do have 8 damage out there. This is where sleep would be way better. They are having to discard like spells. Granted, they can get this one back if they really want to. But okay, so they did not hit a mountain. So if they like tap out here, okay, that makes me really lean towards Tectonic Rifting. Yeah, it's probably worth it. Maybe I should have held on to that land. So Let's go ahead and cast Tectonic Rift on this mountain. And drop them to 8. Maybe we'll discard a card and draw a card in response. But if we can keep them off red, if we manage to keep them off red here, that's going to be great. Drop them to 8 and then to 6 with our Pyromancer. All right, they discarded a Fire Elemental. And we'll attack for 8. We can dig for some more direct damage. See? See? It's always worth. It's not worth it a lot of the time. I think it was still the right thing to do there. Maybe waiting until we could outright kill the opponent would be better, but what are you going to do, you know? Okay, so I think I'm going to Tormenting Voice and discard Lightning Mare. Yeah. Ooh, Bone Dragon's going to be nice. They can kill it, but we're not super far away from having enough cards in our graveyard for that to matter. We just have 3 direct damage, potentially, anyway, in our hand. Maybe I attack with both of these here. Let's do it. If I can get him to kill his Pyromancer, that's going to feel pretty good. Chances are they're not going to. They might just block one of them. No, they're going to block both, it looks like. Do they have a Sure Strike or a Titanic Growth is the question. Because if we can just play a Bone Dragon who gets to stick around, obviously that's a problem. Also, if these both die, we're only 1 card away from just bringing back Bone Dragon anyway. So, yeah, there's the Titanic Growth. I forgot to loot, which I don't mind. So, yeah, the Bone Dragon plan is going to be a little slow and obnoxious because of our opponent's Pyromancer. He's getting in there. That at least means they're going to have to use the ability on their turn, since they decided to attack me. Demanding Dragon. Okay, well, that's not good news. I think we still play our Bone Dragon here. Probably kill it and attack us for 5. God, I wish I hadn't Tectonic Rifted when I did. Three, 4, yeah, we have 6 cards in our graveyard right now. Got 3 damage. We just have to find a way to do another 5. So if the dragon just attacks me here, I honestly think I'd take it for that reason. Because this is 5, obviously. We need 1 more land and we can cast both of these in the same turn, but let's take it. What? Believe it or not, this is not the first time I've played against someone with 2 Demanding Dragons in this format. No, I'm going to go to 3. I think we just lost, though. Yeah. Unless by some miracle they take 5 here. Oh, no, even if they do that, we don't have the mana, so. Okay. Double Demanding Dragon. I don't want to see 2 of those again, please. I don't know, Lava Axe is starting to look kind of appealing, huh? Like if we'd had it there, we could have used it 1 turn and then the next turn done the last 3 with Archer. Yeah, well, we couldn't play both actually, so. Okay. Where have you been, man? We need your help. We need to get our Demon of Catastrophes or a much earlier Bone Dragon. Act of Treason would have been hilarious right there. We would have just cast it and stolen their creature and won the game. Their flyer. It would have been great. Yeah, the Rift was so bad there. If they hadn't drawn the Mountain, it would have been great. Like, it would have been amazing. But that's land destruction for you. Okay, I think this is fine. The Tormenting Voice makes it a lot more keepable than it might otherwise be. Yeah, here I think I'm leaning towards discarding the Rift. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, it's not bad. All our mountains. Yes, we'll play our Ogre here. See if he gets a shock to the face. I don't think this opponent has actually played shock yet, which is nice. All right, so I think we attack right into that thing. I mean, I could shock it. Maybe that's better. Let's just shock it. Yeah, shock and then play Lightning Mare. Black mana would be excellent, as it so often is. So we're going to have a nice attack here. I mean, it's not anything... Okay, we're 1 away from Lightning Dragon, so that's good. But, yeah, we play Minotaur and then just attack with all 3 of our guys. That is 10 damage. Super dangerous for them to just take it, but if they're about to play Demanding Dragon... I think it's probably right for them to do that, to just take it. But they also know I have a bunch of ways of doing damage to them, and going to 6 this early is probably a little scary. Okay. They may still be about to play Demanding Dragon, incidentally. Like, if they have another land in their hand, they don't need the Disciple. I am pretty happy to kill the Disciple, though. And they do have 2 Demanding Dragons. I guess that's 4. But, so, having 1 in their hand right now is not improbable. I wouldn't say. Spark Tongue. Okay, that worries me considerably less since both of my creatures can just eat that. A land would be great here. Ooh, we did it. Time for our dragon, who's bigger than yours, who also has haste. And we attack with everything. I guess I guess he's worried about the pumping of it later. But the Minotaur just, I think, is better most of the time. Okay, so we got them at 3. We have a Skeleton Archer. So if they played Demanding Dragon here, they would just be dead. So I don't think that's what they're going to do. All right, we got there. 2-0. See if we can get another trophy here in the last match. All right, going for match 3 here. Going for a trophy. Ugh. It's kind of a tempting keep. But we're on the play. which in some ways makes it more attractive because if we don't play anything until turn 4, it's not the end of the world. Maybe I'll keep this. What the hell? It could go really wrong, but having all the mana we need already for Bone Dragon is pretty nice. We'll just have to see what happens here. We need to draw some more creatures for the early part of the game, ideally. Ooh, look at that. And their opponent's playing blue, so this could actually matter. The unblockable part, although they may be splashing blue. Nope. They are not. Play a blue creature. Play an Omen Speaker here. My Lightning Mare will laugh at you. Hit you for 4. Aww. That's annoying. Well, I think we attack. If we can get them to trade Druid of the Cow, I think I'm really okay with that. So, yeah, I didn't think they would. We'll go ahead and pump it. We don't have anything else to do after all. Drop them to 16. Next turn we can play our Minotaur at least. And then after that, Bone Dragon. He can block too. I think I feel pretty okay about playing my Minotaur here and just attacking with both my guys. If I can clear out the board here, like if they decide to block both, which I think is improbable, I think they probably just block one of them with the Gargoyle Sentinel maybe blocking the Minotaur. No. That means they're really worried about the can't be blocked by blue creatures part of that card. Okay, does our opponent have enough flyers that Tectonic Rift is bad? They might in a blue-green deck. Okay, well, we're glad they put the Dwindle on our hostile Minotaur. I can tell you that much. So let's play our Bone Dragon. Don't have another Dwindle. Oh, God. Why? The good news is we can get it into the graveyard if we ever block with it, so that's nice. All right, we'll end our turn, leave up mana for Hired Blade, which will probably flash in. Now, getting to 7 in our graveyard this game doesn't look super doable, but could happen. Tormenting Voice here or there would make a difference. So it becomes very tempting to wait to play Hired Blade until they attack with this. But I think I probably still flash it in. But they are doing a really good job of stabilizing right now, and that's not good news for us. Yeah, I'll flash in the Blade. I think we attack with it. If they want to trade their Thorn Lieutenant, I'm all for it. And they do. Because that can get huge in the late game, and I don't really feel like dealing with that. All right. Oh, you know, I guess no, I couldn't have. This would make the creatures die eventually. So yeah, I could have blocked them, but it doesn't really matter. Blocked them once. Yeah, they definitely scryed into a land there. That's the right thing to do. Rocks Oracle. Blue-green Value Town. Ooh, that is very good. Don't worry, Bone Dragon. One of your dragon friends is here to help. Drop them to 9. So we've only seen one artifact. I don't think that's quite enough for me to want to bring in Smelt. I think if I saw 3 that are like things I'd want to blow up, which Gargoyle Sentinel's definitely in there, then I would think about it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and block the Rocks Oracle here. Get this in the graveyard while I can. And we'll go to 17. We need 5 more cards in our graveyard before we're where we need to be. So, yeah. Are they thinking about doing something else? Nope. Gross. Yeah, that card's going to be a huge problem. Crap. All right, well, I think we still attack here. Dropping them to 5. So the reason I think it's worth attacking here, despite the massive amount of damage I'm going to take, is there's a really good chance, there's a significant chance, I should say, that I draw either a Skeleton Archer or a Viashino Pyromancer, in which case the Rift plus that would win me the game. So that's why I think attacking there is good. I mean, I could have blocked the Skyrider Patrol if it attacked, but they're probably giving this flying, and the most I could do with that is trade, so it'll be a 5-3. So the one thing is we need their Skyrider Patrol to actually attack, which they might just not do now, unfortunately, for my plan that I just mentioned to work out, because flyers can still block when you cast Tectonic Rift. So I still haven't gotten to play a blue-green deck in this format, so I'm jealous of our opponent, because that is usually my favorite color combination in most formats is blue-green. If they attack with this too, we're going to be really happy, but I don't think they will. Ooh. Okay, so like I said, there is a chance. That drops us to 8. There's a chance that we can draw a card that can end the game. A pretty significant one. Can we do it? No. 5, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and we can't attack now either. I mean, yeah, we can't attack. That's what I'm trying to say. End our turn. They decided not to do it that time. Okay. Well, crap. Oh, yeah. Oh, now we lose, guys. That's usually the effect Pelakka Worm has. Between all the life gain and the huge body. Just attack with your flyer. I won't block it, I promise. Except it doesn't really matter now. Yeah, we'll go to 3. I mean, we'd need a miracle to win. Anyway, so... Okay. I'm getting closer to Bone Dragon, but I don't think it matters. If anything, like digging for stuff right here makes my opponent wonder, what do they possibly have that could have gotten them out of this situation? So, you know, that doesn't hurt. That's not going to do it. That shock last turn would have done it. But we didn't have it. Okay. We tried. Yeah, I don't think we bring in Smelt. Nah. Our sideboard's just so good, it's really hard to decide what to side in, you know? I think the Rift is fine. I mean, it's gonna be just as good as I think like a Fire Elemental or a Lava Axe will be. They do have the one flyer, which makes this really sad, but yeah, whatever. People have been really concerned about Lightning Mare when we've played it. I think it's Some of it may be a case of people thinking a card's better because they look at its rarity almost. It's like they were blocking it instead of a hostile Minotaur. And yeah, they played some blue creatures there, but they played plenty of green creatures that could have blocked Lightning Mare. So I was pretty surprised by that. Yeah. This guy has really been AWOL after our first match. We haven't drawn this at all, and we've had several situations. Like I was talking about how I could draw a Viashino Pyromancer, a Shock, or one of our 3 Skeleton Archers that last game, and we could win it. We could have also drawn Active Treason. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 10 cards in our deck that would have won us the game. That's pretty insane. But I guess that's how this deck has been operating, where like just a little more damage and we could have won it. That is pretty crazy. And we had like 23 cards in our deck, so there was a pretty significant chance we draw one, and we did. And you could also basically throw Tormenting Voice in there because it gives us another chance at drawing. But as we saw, Shock was the next one of those cards around, and it was like a few cards deep. I would like to play first. Come on. There we go. There we go. We got to hit that swamp, but if we do, of course they have Dwindle, so I think we got to put you on the bottom, buddy. Dwindle does make Demon of Catastrophes kind of a catastrophe for us, but I think it's probably still worth the risk. Okay, you know, this is an example of when a Tectonic Rift would make this hand really good because we're going to have like 10 power in play on turn 4. And if we can just be like, sup, attack, then we're in pretty good shape. Don't play Druid. Or that. I would prefer you didn't play that too. So I think the only removal we saw was 2 Dwindles, which is kind of nuts, but I'll take it. Hopefully they don't draw them again. Well, we're not doing a good job of getting that mountain anyway. Swamp, I mean. Okay, I mean, I feel pretty okay about them using a Dwindle there. Especially, our Demon of Catastrophes does get better so I could attack here and then Skeleton Archer this to death, but I think I just play another Ogre. Okay, that might be both of their Dwindles, so what we really want to do is draw a Swamp. I think I'm just going to do this. It's not great, but there's also a chance they just take it because they're worried I have a trick or something. But I think they probably are willing to block with a creature who already gave them the value it's going to give them. But we do have plenty of sacrifice fodder for our Demon of Catastrophes. So giving up a creature there, you know, it's basically a 1-for-1. So it's not like I get complete... And we both got a little bit of value out of the creature. They got more, obviously, but... It's not a swamp. I think I'm going to discard. I think we gotta dig for another swamp pretty badly here. So let's do this. We did it. We got that other swamp. So we can also set up a Skeleton Archer... finish off Giant Spider turn in the future. But yeah, I think we play our Demon next, sacrificing one of these guys. Also, getting closer, getting more and more cards in our graveyard does matter a little bit in our deck if we draw our Bone Dragon anyway. Okay, well that's pretty savage. That kills everything over here. And means my Demon of Catastrophes doesn't have anything to eat anymore. It's messed up, man. They don't even know we have the demon, but it feels like they do. Because how often do you want to make sure you kill guys with auras on them? Does get us to 5 cards in our graveyard. Alright, so I think we play a Skeleton Archer and we shoot them in the face for 1 with it. Uh-oh. They're getting close to Palaka Worm is the really, really good news. So now even if we play Demon of Catastrophes, they can actually block it fairly well. And that's kind of a problem. I think we still do it though. I mean, it can block their stuff pretty well too. Yeah, let's go for it. That also gets us to 7 cards in our graveyard. Oh, they have a 3rd Dwindle. Of course they do. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I really wish our deck had more of a sacrifice theme because it would have made... yeah, oh, I just skipped my turn on accident. Not that we could do much anyway. Here comes Palaka Worm. Yeah, okay, we're dead. Not much could save us after they play Palaka Worm. Yeah, we got stomped in our last match, but 2-1, I mean, I think that's respectable. I think this deck was pretty good. You know, all those dwindles in the last match were really painful, but what are you going to do? All right, so I'll see you guys in the next draft video.